Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. It's been such a long time since I've seen you all. How is your new year going? Hopefully, you have set some powerful resolutions and you are looking to make the changes internally that are needed to impress upon your subconscious, your family legacy, your life, that those are changes that need to be made for long term, not just because it's the new year. Before I begin on my conversation about legacy, let me introduce myself. My name is Cecile Edwards-Owotoroshe. I am a mommy mentor, a mommy magic maker, a self-care coach, a postpartum doula. I have degrees in elementary education, history, and political science. I know that's such an interesting combination of things. But trust me, it all comes together when you hear this conversation. I have over 12 years of experience as a K-12 educator. I have also taught college course on social studies methods on teaching social studies. I have training in cognitive behavioral therapy, Reiki. I'm an avid reader and researcher, and I observe life. I can literally, I'm one of those mall watchers where I can sit in the mall and just look at people go by. That's me, okay, if you ever see someone doing that. So today I wanted to talk about legacy, have a conversation about legacy, because I know we hear this word, and this word has been in my consciousness and on my mind, and I've been turning it over for over 6-7 years now. And I have a lot of funny stories that I can tell you about that, meeting people, etc., around the conversation on legacy. But I want to give you the dictionary definition because I think it's very important that when you're thinking about a word, you look at the dictionary so you can really determine what a word means. So legacy. Legacy means a gift or bequest that is handed down, endowed, or conveyed from one person to another. It's descendable, transmitted, inherited, or recovered from, or received, from a predecessor. Another dictionary definition pointed to financial rewards being passed down only. Another definition talked about legacy applications like going to college. I'm going somewhere with this. Let's take our time. And the reason why this word of legacy came into my mind is because I often think about the legacy of emotional intelligence, about the legacy of mental wellness, the legacy of communicating powerfully, the legacy of how we prioritize ourselves as an individual and family, the legacy of a healthy mental state in your ability to problem solve. Those are the legacies that I want to talk about because I'm extending or adding to the definition of legacy to give you some more meat to understand and unravel yourself a little bit. Now, this conversation popped into my mind because I'm reading this book. If you don't know who Brene Brown is, then you should definitely know who she is and read some of her books. They're very insightful. She's a compassion researcher, okay? And she talks about self-compassion, self-love, etc. in her book. And it got me to thinking about some things that I observed from working with families and children and my own inner work, as well as being a parent myself. And I've talked about this before, this conversation around the entitlement that a lot of children these days are growing up with. Like we're raising a lot of children who are entitled, very entitled. They don't want to work hard for anything. They feel like everything should just come to them easily, quickly, without any work. Excuse me. Wrong time to sneeze, but it is what it is. We also, a lot of our children these days, unfortunately, don't want to do what it takes, redo things to get them right, etc. And I've seen this a lot of times, but I've also observed where it's natural for children to, and I've worked with a lot of children, they'll get a issue or something that they're working on, and they'll sit there forever and try to figure it out, right? They'll probably do the same thing over and over again until they realize, okay, this isn't working. And they might leave and then come back, right? And then sometimes as adults, we'll jump in and try to help them do whatever. And I've been one of those people that jumped in because I myself was impatient, or I just wanted to help them to help move it along, or something like that. But this is critical. You have to hear me when I'm saying this. It's critical to allow children, even in their young stage, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to have an issue and let them try to figure out and work out how to do certain things, especially if it's something that they're interested in. So, for example, I work with families, and I'll be honest, the young boy that I was working with, he was trying to turn something on. And I interfered at that moment. At one time I interfered, but I didn't interfere anymore once he was trying to get it. I showed him how to do it. I told him how to do it. After that, he tried to turn it on, and I didn't interfere. And eventually he got it. So he failed. He tried again. He failed. He tried again. He failed. He tried again. He wasn't going to get the result that he wanted, which was for the thing to be turned on, until he figured it out after I had showed him once or twice. This is critical to teaching and building resilience in children. Resilience is a powerful legacy. And I mentioned Brené Brown earlier because she talks about resilience in her book. And I think her conversation in this book is very powerful. The name of the book is The Gifts of Imperfection. And it really made me think about how oftentimes, we give up on things. We've all been there where we give up. We're at the moment where we want to give up. We may forget why we even started to try doing this thing in the first place. But I want to offer to you, as a parent, as a caregiver of children, as a caregiver of children, as a manager of employees, that you build resilience and you give people a powerful self-reference and build their confidence when you allow them to try and fail and encourage them to try again. That is building a legacy of never giving up, always trying, okay? Knowing that the end result can be different if you continue to try, knowing that you can try something different to get an end result. Okay. Those are all things that you are building in your mental legacy, in the legacy of training, teaching, learning, when you have the mentality of legacy and have the mentality of teaching in your reservoir of why you're doing something as a parent, as a caregiver for children. And I want to offer that because I really want caregivers to start to focus more on building that resilience in children. Okay? So I'm saying this and offering this as part of one of the conversations that I know that I'm going to have with the mothers in the Mommy Circle and at the Moms Evolving Symposium and Retreat that is coming. If you would like to join, please email me at momevolve@gmail.com, okay, so that I can put you on the list. We plan on being in New Jersey, Philadelphia, and St. Louis this year. And this is basically the mommy circle is basically a training ground, a discussion for mothers to help set them up on a path of better self-care, but also to leave the legacy there of having a community of women to work with, having a community of women to work with, having a community of people to build with, and to create certain specific things that Mommy Evolve knows through research and looking at history are the best things for building a community of women that is going to be supportive of the best growth and evolution, not just of moms, but of their children and families. Okay, so I want you to stay connected with me for that. And if you would like to bring that to your city or town, then please let me know by emailing me at momevolve@gmail.com. And finally, if you are interested in private coaching around parenting, around self-care and what that means, if you want to know more about the definition of self-care, you can go to my book, which is the Mommy Magic Handbook. You can find that at bit.ly/mommy handbook. Okay. And I look forward to convening with you, because self-care is about doing things intentionally so that you are building a legacy. And so that means a lot of spending time with yourself to unravel you, to think about issues. But Mommy Evolved helps you with that learning curve, right? Because through my own process, through my own research, through my own observations, through my own work, doing work within myself as well as with other families, I've come to understand and know what is most powerful, okay, and what self-care really means, which is paying attention to your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Not just the outer, what things look like. And I know why we get caught up in what things look like, because we live in a society where that is what the focus is oftentimes, unfortunately. But that is not the long lasting. That's not the legacy. You know how they say things deteriorate and go away? Your legacy is more than the physical things that you give to children that you're around, or to your children. Your legacy is how you teach them to interact with themselves and with the world. All right, so it was a pleasure speaking to you. If you like these bracelets, these are handmade bracelets. Get them made in Ghana. I'm actually putting in an order now. And you'll see my name, Cecile, my married name, Owotoroshe. So that's my hyphenated name. And then I have these statement bracelets that have evolving on them. I have another one that says Mommy Magic. Okay. If you're interested in getting one of these bracelets for maybe your children, you can have your children's name on it. I just got several orders with people who wanted their children's name on it. And I have one with my daughter's name on it, but she wears it, of course. And if you want any of these bracelets, or for your business that has some statement on it, again, handmade. These are made out of glass from a place called Crobo beads. They're literally made out of glass. You can see the process. And then these are kente beads. If you see these colorful ones here, and these here. Okay, these kente beads. And then these are crystals, various crystals from various places. Okay, and it's handmade. Absolutely gorgeous. I wear them all the time. People are always complimenting me on them. If you're interested, please let me know. And I hope that this conversation was useful to you. Please leave a comment, question, whatever you have. And I look forward to having some more conversation with you about legacy, about evolving, and about Mommy Evolve, and being able to train your mommy group, or talk to your mommy group, or your school, etc. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.